Batter of the first inning here in game number 2. She hits a ground ball to third base. That ball is fair. She rounds first and then heads back. So single there to lead off the game. And now up to bat
number 11, Mina Harley.
Is number 11, Mina Harley. Again, she's playing shortstop for the Lady Guard tonight.
Well, here we go, folks. Sorry, a little late getting started there. They got one on. That's Ware Brister. The single that went into left field.
Yeah, it was ripped right down the line, probably about 3 inches inside the bag there, or inside the foul line. And
that one misses inside. That one's fouled away. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Here comes the pitch. Off speed outside, runner stays put. So no outs, 1 on. That's Brister.
yeah, and both hitters have worked the count early. Sky high pop up.
Catch is made. This is out number 1 of the inning.
Up to bat for Lady Guard, number 6, Carmen Miller.
So Carmen Miller, she'll step into the box. Here comes the pitch. Called strike. They throw down the first. She's back in time. He had some defensive changes for Hyde Park, I believe. They just have 9 players, so they couldn't change much. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, they moved a few players around from game 1, and we had a number switch. Number 30 went to number 31. It looks like she'll be doing some catching potentially later in the game, and so they wanted to go ahead and get that jersey switch done.
Here comes the pitch. It was low. Hey, chat with us. Let us know who you're cheering for here. All you got to do is subscribe if you haven't already, and you'll be able to chat. Foul away. Good battle here by Miller.
You got a bunch of young guys, saw the foul ball, and they're tearing off after it. Maybe they do give out gum after all. I don't know. Talked about that in game 1. Back in the day, they used to give you gum or a couple of quarters or something, to try to get the ball back. Because, back then if somebody hit a foul ball, you were trying to pocket it and run home. Little slapper out to second. Gets the tag and the throw to first for the double
play. So that's a put out there. So that will retire the side. No runs scored. We'll come back for the bottom of inning number 1 here on NETSN. All right, Alexis Stout. We'll look to get things started for the Hyde Park Lady Panthers. Ball misses on the outside for Miller. Fouls it away, so that will be a strike.
Bless you.
Comes the next pitch. Just misses on the outside. It's game 2 of this series. Brook Hill won 7-4 in game 1. Here comes the pitch. She shows bunt, pulls back, swing and a miss.
Yeah, good 2-2 count. Good pitch there by Miller. Again, she pitched a good first game, and especially those last few innings to kind of shut things down. And so she looks to kind of duplicate that effort again here and keep that rhythm going.
Fouls that one away, so a battle here. Miller steps back on the rubber. She'll start her motion, deliver the pitch. Hits into left field. In and out of the glove of Winkle.
They're sending her home.
So come down, so around all the bases. And that's score 1 for Hyde Park.
I think if you're scoring at home, you probably give that one an E7.
Yeah.
She took a step to her left or two, and then tried to get back to her right and just couldn't quite get there in time. And ball got away from her and allowed the runner to score.
It's Ellen Felon, right?
Yeah, Ellis Felon, number 4. She's the second baseman, excuse me, number 17, playing second.
Ball misses. Here comes the pitch. Ball hits over this Booth. She scoops it up, throws to first. She puts her out. It's out number 1.
Yeah, again, good quick play there by Booth. Good glove and a quick toss to first. And now we have Coriana Stout, the left fielder, number 9.
Ball hit high. Fires playing the flex just out of her hands, and she'll come up, she'll fire. So she'll come in the third. So that's Corlina Stout with the triple.
Bat for late Panthers, number 31. Bryce
Yeah,
Patel.
again, probably another catch you'd like to make there in the outfield. The ball was up there. She had her glove kind of turned sideways there instead of open and missed the catch.
So Pascal will step up. Ball. Hey, chat with us. Let us know you're there. Who you're cheering for. Swing and a miss. That's called strike.
Yeah, so in game 1, Pascal was the 6th hitter, and she slid into the 4 spot here in game number 2. And she's their third baseman.
So we're going to miss on that one. Got a little piece of that thing, but not enough to send it in the positive direction. So 2 strikes on her from Miller.
Yeah, Miller would love to get a punch out here, get the strike out.
Trying to get her to chase. She didn't oblige on it, so it was outside called ball.
Your runner at third's taking a pretty good secondary lead there. Maybe something they could look at, trying to get her pinched there. But again, you don't want to make an errant throw and allow a run, so you kind of have to balance that.
As the ball misses, so that'll bring us to a full count. So as it stands now, Brook Hill 3-0 in district play. The 2 wins against Grace last week and the win, the doubleheader of this series, game 1. Ball hit. Looks to probably be out of play. It is. So that's a long high strike.
Yeah, well, first baseman there took off at a good run and realized she was going to meet the the dugout there before she got to the ball and wisely pulled up, and the ball was out of play.
Good effort there.
Yeah. Again, stranger things have happened, right? A gust of wind brings that back, and so you always want to make sure it's out.
Comes the payoff pitch. Strike 3. Gets her. I tell you, I think she's in her sweet spot with a full count. She bears down and gets that 3rd strike. So
Up to bat for Lady Panthers, number 16.
out number 2.
Kylie Yeager.
Yeah, and Yeager is playing. She's catching.
Okay, so switch, I think, right? Yeah, Stout caught last time. Ball. Sorry we don't have an outfield camera right now. I think we lost the battery there, although I put a new one in right before the second game.
Yeah, and you see our first oven mitt sighting here at third base. I noticed that just a minute ago.
Oh, okay. It's made its entrance.
Yeah, we've got a sliding mitt here.
Ball misses.
And again, if you haven't paid attention to the game recently, that's become one of the new hot items is the sliding mitt. Gives you a little bit of extra reach at the same time protecting fingers from getting stepped on or smacking into a bag and getting that jam finger or dislocated finger. But they look different.
Ball fouled away, out of play. This count will remain, or will be 2 balls, 1 strike. Sorry. Eager. It's calls time.
Yeah, so 2 balls and a strike to Yeager. Again, runner on third with 2 outs. Oh.
2-1 the count. Hey, chat with us. Let us know who you're cheering for. Say go Guard, or if you happen to be watching from the Austin area, say go Hyde Park, go Panthers. Let us know. The 2-1. Pickle. Here we go.
And
Throw gets away, and so run will score.
yeah, so 2 runs this inning, both on account of mistakes in the outfield, and then there, pickle wasn't a bad idea, but nobody backed up the catcher quick enough, and the catcher kind of got out of position there on the chase down, and there was nobody there to pick it up.
Ball misses on the inside, so she'll trot to first.
Up to bat for Lady Panthers, number 4, Brook Maggots.
Yeah, and Maggots is the center fielder in this game. She played center field last game as well. Just moved up in the order to the 6th spot. Was the 8th spot last game.
Maggots, she shows bunt. Pulls back, runner going. Blister throws. Just a hair late, not a bad idea, not a bad throw. Just a little late, and a little off to the right. So the runner is now on second base. Hyde Park with a 2-0 lead, bottom of the 1st. Again, we are in Brook Hill, but with it being a doubleheader, they switch home and away.
Yeah, we talked earlier. There's quite a bit of distance, right, between these two schools, and they're in the same district, and so that makes it tough for travel. And so they've chosen to do both games on the same day in a location, but then home and away switches. So they're trying to keep us up here on our toes, right,
Yeah, that's
Jan?
right.
They're trying to mix it up and make sure we're ready.
Ball hit to Booth. She scoops it up, fires to first. She'll retire. So we'll come back for the top of inning number 2 here on NETSN.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the top of the second inning again. We have a matchup here between Brook Hill and Hyde Park. Brook Hill is the visiting team, even though it is their home stadium. And then this inning we'll be leading off with Kinsley Licata, the first baseman. And again, pitching for Hyde Park is number 23, Alexa Stout. Thank you for tuning in. We're excited you're here tonight. We're thankful that we get a chance here to broadcast on this beautiful campus. Again, a beautiful field. It wasn't that long ago. We've had quite a bit of rain, and Coach did a great job getting the field ready for the game. And then in between games, got it ready again for a second game of a doubleheader. And again, we've got natural grass and dirt, and so it's a little bit different than when you have the turf set up, and so they've had to do a lot of work to get it ready, but it looks beautiful. And again, we're getting ready for our first pitch here at the top of the second inning.
Back for Lady Guard, number 4, Kinsley Licata.
Kinsey steps into the box here, and again, she's got a noticeable brace on her right knee. Here comes the pitch, and she swings through the first one. All right, here's the windup and the pitch. Drives one into left center field. Great play there by the left fielder who makes the catch. And we have our first out of the inning. All right, coming up here for the Guard is the third baseman, number 13, Allison Matthews.
Up to bat for Lady Guard, number 13, Allison Matthews.
All right, she gets the sign. She goes into her windup, and here's the pitch. Just a little low. Again, just a little low. That's ball 2. So we have a 2-0 count here. 1 out in the top of the second. And the pitch. Ground ball hit to the shortstop. Shortstop fires to first in time. And we have 2 outs here in the top of the second inning.
Up to bat for Lady Guard, number 1, Molly Booth.
Strike there, a foul ball there by Booth. Again, Booth is the number 6 hitter today for the Lady Guard. We've got 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. We got the windup and the pitch. Gave her the strike call there on the inside, caught the black. And so we have an 0-2 count here to Booth. Now she's got to protect the plate a little bit here with an 0-2 count. And swing and a miss. The ball was dropped, but the catcher made the tag in time, and we have our third out of the top of the second inning. That's the end of the top half here. We'll be right back after this.
Up and back for Lady Panthers, number 28, Alex Akins.
Welcome back, folks. Jeremy Peoples, Jeremy Diamond here for you as the Brook Hill Lady Guard trail 2-0 the Hyde Park Lady Panthers in game 2 of this series.
Yeah, and you've got Akins up to bat, the shortstop.
Hits one into out of play in right field.
Yeah, made good contact there. A little late on the swing, and got a foul ball out of it.
So, Julian Amaz, who was designated player, moved to right field. Pitch misses high. So 1-1 the count. Two balls. One strike. Chat with us. Let us know who you're cheering for. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. And we are, I think, at 4,999.
Oh, so close.
We need-
Who's going to be number 5,000?
Be number 5,000 to subscribe.
We almost need to have like a giveaway or something for number 5.
I will give them a high five.
There you go. High five for 5K. Pitch comes in low.
Off-speed pitch misses. Brook Hill guys team won both their games against Regents over there to sole possession of first place. Ball hit out of play. Won with by a score of 4-3 in game 1 and by a score of 11-1 in game 2 against Austin Regents. Ball misses, so ball 4. So running on the base pads, no outs here.
Up and back for Lady Panthers, number 21, Olivia Villanueva.
Yeah, and Villanueva's playing first base this game. She was the 4th place hitter last time, slid down to the 8 hole here in game 2.
Bunt goes foul. Runner is taken off, but she'll have to go back. So we'll be bringing you Brook Hill Guard baseball action on Friday against Tatum. So it's an interesting situation where it's two schools that we cover regularly. We'll be facing off there at Eagle Park on Friday. Swing and a miss. Throw, runner's going. Throw gets away. So she will go and come on the third. Matthews takes the throw, but the runner's there in time. So the Lady Panthers, just another one on the knocking on the door of a score there as Villanueva is still in the box.
Yeah, just missed the catch there at second. Tried to catch tag at the same time, and ball got away from her and allowed the runner to get down to third base. Again, nobody out.
Fouls that one away.
She won't. Or she won't be on the field.
Here comes the pitch. Called strike 3 on the inside corner.
Yeah, second strikeout there for Miller. And first out of the second inning.
Bat for Lady Panthers, number 1, Mary Alice White.
So Mary Alice Watt will step up to the plate. Here comes the pitch from Miller. It's high, misses. So 1 out, runner on third base. 2-0 the score in favor of the Lady Panthers here. Here comes the pitch. Bunt back to Miller. She gets a backhand. Tries to throw it home. You had to throw the second. So Miller throws home. Didn't get the runner at home, but she picks up, throws to second, and got the player sliding into second. And so be out number 2.
Yeah, a tag was made there.
Bat for Lady Panthers.
We think it looked
It
was close. It was close.
Yeah, it was close.
But we'll get the out there, and so that makes 2 outs in the inning. And again, base paths are cleared, and we're back to the top of the order with Stout.
Foul. Know how to get a new ball here. Getting ready to resume action. Ball
Ball's
hit
driven.
into the gap in right center field. So she'll round first, go into second. She's going to come into third. Throw's going to come in from Booth to home. She's going to shoot 4. Good stop there by Brister, but that's a triple there.
And again, fortunate, right, that the out was made there. That was a Stout there with the triple. Fortunate the out was made at second base. That would have been another run to
Yeah,
score.
right.
And,
17, Alice Felon.
yeah, so a triple there. And
Ellis Felon.
yeah, so Felon's up to bat. She's the second place hitter here again with 2 outs in the top or the bottom of the second. Excuse me, I did it. I knew I was going to flip it and say it backwards. But 2 outs in the bottom of the second.
Swing and a miss. The Lady Panthers lead 3-0. Pitch comes in from Miller. Ball hit into right center field. 1 run will come in. Miles will scoop it up, throw it in. It's 1 more on the board there for the Lady Panthers, and just some good base hits. Can't do much about those.
Up to bat for Lady Panthers, number 9, Carrie Anna Stout.
Carrie Anna Stout will step into the box. Still 2 outs here.
First pitch was a little low there. Again, Hyde Park has played 2 runs in the first and now 2 runs in the second. And Miller looks to get that third out and get out of here without any more damage done.
Pitch misses high at the throw. Not in time.
Yeah, she got a good jump there off first base and got to second on the stolen base. Again, Miller just needs to focus on the batter at the plate, right? You get the third out, and whatever that player does on second doesn't matter.
3 balls, no strikes. Swing and a miss. Good bear down there by Miller. So 3-1.
Felon's taken quite the secondary lead there. She was past the shortstop. And again, daring the catcher to make the throw.
Ball hit into center field. She comes over, makes the catch. That's out number 3. That will retire the side, but they do score 2 more. So the Lady Panthers lead by a score 4-0. We'll be back here for the top of inning number 3. So Winkle steps up to the plate.
Yeah, and again, she's playing left field.
She hits one. In and out of the glove of the right fielder, gets away from her as well. So she comes in the second, Winkle does, and so.
Yeah, and again, you got to take advantage of those mistakes, right? That looked like a catch there, and last minute tailed away and missed it and gets to second.
Up to bat for Lady Guard, number 14, Maddie Matheny.
So Maddie Matheny will step up with a runner on second, no outs. Swing and a miss for Matheny. Ball. The middle school Lady Guard team will play right after this game. A long afternoon of softball here. Called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. Off-speed pitch outside, swings and misses, so she'll be retired. Off-speed pitch looked pretty junky.
Yeah, that was one of those where, like, you start to reach the swing and you're like, that is a whole lot slower than I thought it was, and then you kind of just hung out there and couldn't keep the bat in the zone long enough or hold the swing back and got the strikeout.
So Juliana Mize, step up, 1 out. A runner on second. Outside pitch, ball 1.
Yeah, and Maya started out as the DP, and then last inning she moved into right field.
Well, outside again, ball 2.
Anthony needs to know Peyton's not hitting. Hey, Kelly! Peyton's not hitting.
Swung through that one, so 2 balls and a strike. Again, Mize wants to at least advance the runner here,
Yeah.
if not get the RBI.
It's a little dribble to the pitcher she throws. And get that out. So he throws back to third. They throw back to third, but she's safely back.
Yeah, and a good sack bunt there by Mize to get the runner to third. Almost got caught at third, taking a little bit of an extra lead there, and barely got back in time, according to the umpire. And now we're back to the top of the lineup here.
Yeah, Bristol step up.
Yep. Catcher's here, or the catcher's batting again, top of the third.
On the bat for Lady Guard, number 12.
We want to put one on the board here. All right, Brister at the box. Hits one out of play.
Yeah, just a little late on that swing, and again hit a foul ball out behind the dugout there on the left field side.
It's a ball.
And I think if you're Brook Hill here, you got to be patient, right? You know, last inning you went 8 pitches on, and 8 pitches got 3 outs, and so I think here you want to try to extend the inning here and keep moving. That was a defensive save.
Defensive swing.
Yeah, that was that don't hit me in the head swing, and
fouls it away.
that was that natural reaction, right?
Oh,
I wanted to
yeah.
hit and
The 1-2 pitch. Off speed stays high. They'll even this up at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
yeah, that ball was never going to be close. It didn't have enough movement to come back down. It just kind of hung up there and
Fouls that one away. It's a big battle here. Count will remain 2 balls, 2 strikes. Thanks so much for tuning in. Let us know who you're cheering for. I'd like to know who's there. Subscribe if you haven't. Pitch misses. They throw back to third.
that one I think she was safer than the first one. But they called the out on that.
And so that will retire the side. They'll strand 1. We'll come back here for the bottom of inning number 3 here on NETSN. Welcome back, folks. Come to the bottom of the 3rd here.
Yeah, I think if I'm Carmen Miller here, I want to get a quick inning, right?
Yeah.
She's thrown 23 pitches in both the first 2 innings. Again, she pitched game 1, and you don't want to get you want to get tired early, right?
Yeah.
You want to get out of this one quick, make your pitches, make them hit something they don't want to hit, and then trust your defense to do their job and get those outs.
So Parscale will step into the box.
And again, she's playing third base. First inning, she struck out looking.
Good crowd here, Schwab Field. The baseball guys, they won their 2 games earlier this afternoon.
Up to bat for Lady Panthers, number 31, Grace Parscale.
Miller steps back in the circle. She'll deliver the pitch. Ball. Give the video a like if you haven't yet. Helps us out. 1 ball, no strikes. Cold strike. We'll plan to be back with Brook Hill in the fall. Here is bringing some Brook Hill Guard football. Ball fouled away.
Yeah, and again, just a great opportunity, right? We enjoy broadcasting these high school games, letting these athletes that put so much time in, give them a chance to be seen on a larger scale. And that happens because you like and share our videos and share those links with friends and family so they can watch as well.
Ball hit. Should be foul territory. It is. It's a long high strike. Yeah, and we've had what's been cool is just several schools reached out. So not ready to quite say who all, but for sure we've got an increased slate this fall of some schools that have reached out to us and want us to cover them, and so we're excited for that opportunity, and that should spill over into the winter and the spring next year. So, all right, here comes a pitch from Miller. This is low, so.
Yeah, I think, with the increase in NIL and some of those things, I think there are some people that are becoming a little bit disenchanted with the college game. And so, high school more and more becomes the last true, pure form of sport, right?
Ball misses outside, so that'll bring us to a full count.
Again, we talk Friday Night Lights in the fall, but again, there's great sporting events that go on all year round for these young athletes, and
absolutely,
what a great chance to showcase their ability, and we get to be a small part of that here in the broadcast.
Swing and a miss, she'll get her. So she'll be retired. That's out number 1.
Yeah, struck out for the second time up to bat, and a great off-speed pitch there by Miller got her out ahead of it. And
16, Kylie Yeager.
now you got the catcher Yeager up to bat. The first inning, she walked and then stole a base and then was stranded there.
Foul ball. One thing I enjoy about broadcasting Brook Hill, not as much with softball, but I know with the other sports, the international students that play, and I know in like basketball we have a big Lithuania viewership, and then in football we joke and say we're the ESPN of Finland.
There you go. Yeah, it's fun, right? And it's fun for grandparents and those that are far away, right? Sometimes, a lot of grandparents are in different states, and they might get to catch one game in person, but then because we have a broadcast on an app and through YouTube, they get to watch every game, whether that's whether they're here or not. And so it's just a cool thing.
Strike 3 on the inside corner. Look at that.
And that moves Miller into 4 strikeouts here in the first 3 innings. Third one looking.
Bat for Lady Panthers, number 4.
The other day, Jeremy, when we were broadcasting in the doubleheader against Grace in Game 1, she surpassed 700 strikeouts for her career.
Yeah, and that's super impressive, right? And like you said, it was not only that, but it was a perfect game, right? And it doesn't matter what level you're in, that's an impressive feat, right? Whether that's all the way down in Little League, all the way up to the pros, that's an awesome thing. And for her to put that feather in her cap, and again, she's committed to UT Tyler, and you'll get to see her again next fall as she plays for them. And so, again, she gets to stay home and continue her athletic career there.
Ball misses. All right, so here's another sport that's going on tonight, and let's just say I need the Gators to win with a combined score of 136 points. Just
you must be talking about the basketball national championship.
Yes.
Boy, and what a crazy finish to the Duke Houston game. Yeah. A questionable, more than questionable, a terrible foul call on Cooper Flag.
Oh, come on.
No, it was awful.
I know.
Especially if you're going to let the game be the way it was. But again, if you're Duke, you got to inbound the ball, and they didn't do that, and that cost them the game.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah, just one of those calls you hate to see made in the first place. I don't know if that's a foul at any point in the game, but especially with that little bit of time left, that's a tough one to go by. And again, they had a 1-point lead at the time and kind of changed the complexion of the game a little bit.
Little dribbler hit. They call it fair. They throw. They get her. Good play there to retire the side. So we'll come back here for the top of inning number 4. Hyde Park leads 4-0. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back here.
Up to bat for Lady Guard, number 12, Blair Brister.
Back on the mound.
Yeah, and Brister's back at the plate. She was again at the plate last inning at the end, but because the runner was out at third, she didn't get to finish her at bat, so she starts over with a clean slate here.
First pitch to her's a ball.
One of those kind of crazy things. If you haven't watched a lot of baseball, you're like, wait a minute, she was the last one at the plate. But because she wasn't the one that caused the out, then she gets to come back and bat again.
Swing and a miss. Let us know who you're cheering for. That you're there. All you got to do is go thumbs up or go Guard or go Lady Panthers. Low outside in the dirt. 2-1 the count.
Yeah, Stout's been fairly efficient so far. I mean, she's to start the inning was with just 38 pitches here through 3. And so she'd probably like to continue that as well.
So dribbler, they throw, they get her.
But they call it foul ball.
That's
Yeah,
right.
foul ball, so dead ball there. Ball didn't quite get out of the out into play there. So
Off-speed pitch inside.
yeah, so she works a full count here. Again, top of the 4th inning, and it is 4-0 Hyde Park. Brook Hill won the first game 7-4. Hyde Park's taking an early lead here.
Hit to the second baseman. She throws to first. She gets her. Well, 4-3 put out for out number 1.
Yeah, and last inning finished with one of those crazy 2-3 putouts, right? Catcher to first. You don't see that a whole lot. And again, that's a tough play in softball because there's not a lot of room, and the runner was on the line, and she was able to make the throw around her, and the first baseman made the play. And so now we have an out here in the top of the 4th inning, and Mina Harley is up to bat.
Foul ball hit up. Catcher comes back. Can't make the catch, but a good effort there.
Yeah, and I'm not sure it would have counted had she made it because I think it got net before it was before it could have been caught either way. But again, a good effort. I think a parent had a camera down there, and the ball landed right. That's the inevitable, isn't it? That the ball lands right on the camera. And
shot up the middle. That's a good lick.
First base hit.
So Mina Harley on the base pads.
Yeah, so the first hit there for Brook Hill since the first inning, and we've got a little action going here. And
so Carmen Miller will step up.
And she'd love nothing more than to help herself out here. As again, she's the pitcher in this game, and
hits one up the middle as that one as well. So
fielded well there by the center fielder. It looked like it might have gotten through, and she was able to close ground there and get it done. Yeah. So back-to-back singles.
So we'll see Juliana Mize step up.
That's actually
Kinsey Licata. You're right.
Licata,
sorry.
Yep. No, you're good.
Licata.
Yeah, she's playing first base in the place of Mize, who played first in the first game of our doubleheader here.
Ball misses. Low.
And I like the approach here from Brook Hill this inning a lot more than the last couple innings. It seemed like they were kind of out of sorts. They seemed to be a little bit more patient at the plate this inning. And
called strike. So, top part of the zone. A little high. Comes across the letters, it looks like. So. Little blooper to second base. She makes the catch, and so everybody will get back in time, though. So, but that's 2 outs.
And again, you got runners at first and second, and you got Matthews coming up to bat.
Number 13, Allison Matthews.
And you really need to play to run here, right? It's not crucial, but you want to get something in the positive here, kind of get you going again. And
swing and a miss.
And both runners have got a foot on the bag. And
swing and a miss. Pitch in the top part of the zone there. So Matthews behind 0-2. Here comes the pitch. Off-speed pitch outside. She doesn't chase it, so 1-2.
That was almost like the old school pitch out, right? Like it was pretty far out there, but nobody was moving, and the batter didn't take the bait.
Runners on first and second with 2 outs, though. Here comes the pitch. Low in the dirt. Even us up at 2-2.
And again, if you're just tuning in, the original start time for this game was 5. We started closer to about 6:15 or 6:20. The first game went a little bit long, and so you might be going, "Wait a minute, it's already after 7. How is this only the 4th inning?" But that's why got a late start. So
full count pitch, swing and a miss. So she'll be retired, and so they'll strand 2 on. We'll come back here for the bottom of inning number 4 here on NETSN.
Alex Aikens.
All right, the shortstop Akins is up to bat here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Again, you might be wondering why this is the case, but again, this is a home and away, and so the home team for this game is Hyde Park, even though we're at the campus of Brook Hill.
Schwab Field. Fouls that one away, so 1 ball, 1 strike.
So, Jaron, I don't know if you've watched much Major League Baseball, but have you noticed the new torpedo bat?
Bats. Oh, they're all. Oh, yeah. I've been talking a lot about it.
But then I was watching last night and watching the Cardinals, and they had the Brendan Donovan has a bat that looks more like a softball bat. He's extended the barrel down. It's not any bigger, but then he has a 2 to 3 inch depth core, like you can put two knuckles in the inside of the cap of the bat.
Off speed pitch, called strike 3. Outside part of the play, she's retired.
So it feels like one of those things where it's been a while since the hitters have gotten an innovation, right? It's kind of been the same old, and so I guess unless you go with the axe bat handle, that's about the biggest innovation before this. But, yeah, the torpedo bat really just puts more weight in the sweet spot, right? And kind of the same thing with that bat. And softball's kind of got the same. They've got the elongated barrel.
Well, you're seeing it now in like Little League and high school. I know a guy that's a bat salesman for Headbanger Sports, and they're already selling torpedo bats at that level.
Yeah, it doesn't take long for that to trickle down, right? And, companies are smart when they market that because kids are going to want to buy them because their favorite player has them. And but, yeah, just an interesting thing. Again, we talked about the innovations, the sliding mitt, right? The shin protector there, the elbow pad. A lot of those things weren't around when a lot of us were younger. And, again, all about player safety, and I'm all for that. It just seems so funny when these guys get to first base and they've got to unload 8 pounds of gear and hand it to a coach. And yeah, the bionic sleeve comes off. And
called strike.
And then every once in a while you have that old school hitter that didn't even wear batting gloves, right? Comes up there with bare hands and brings back those old days.
We were just told to rub dirt on it.
That's right.
2-1. Shot hit, caught by Maui Booth. That was a heater.
Yeah. Stuck the glove up, let the glove do the work, and that ball snapped it shut.
Bat for the Lady Panthers, number 1.
Somebody said nice catch, and she just kind of shrugged her shoulders.
Yeah, that's what I do.
That's what we do.
Dust the shoulder off, right?
That's right.
Shows bunt, leaves it out, called strike.
Yeah, and this is Mary Alice White, the 9th place hitter. She's playing left field. Her first at bat, she hit a single, and then she got put out on the catcher to second throw.
Ball misses high, so 1-1.
That was that late tag that we were kind of wondering what the call would be, and it was an out call. And I think if you're on one side of the screen, you weren't very happy, and on the other side, it was a good call.
Called strike. Place on the outside part of the plate.
I miss the old school super demonstrative umpire, the rah, especially when
there we go. We'll get that one.
There it was. That's what I was looking for.
Called strike 3. Is out number 3. So we'll come back here for the top of inning number 5 here on NETSN. All right, here we go.
Up to bat for Lady Guard, number 1, Miley Booth.
Yeah, Miley had a great catch last inning in the bottom of the fourth inning, and now she gets to bat top of the 5th, and maybe she can make one good play into another one and get a good base hit here and get the rally going for Brook Hill. Swings and fouls the first one back. Stout's been pretty efficient tonight. Again, just at 56 pitches through 4 innings. And
That one misses high. It's that one over to second base. She's going to scoop it up, fire to first. I'll get her.
And now coming up is Colby Winkle, the left fielder.
Up to bat for Lady Guard, number 21, Colby Winkle.
Flare ball into shallow right field just outside, and the catch is made by the second baseman.
That's out number 2.
Up to bat for Lady Guard, number 14, Maddie Matheny.
Yeah, so Maddie Matheny comes up to bat here. 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning. Again, Brook Hill's down 4-0.
Swing and a miss. She'll foul that one away.
Quickly, the count is 0-2 here. Now she's got to protect here, protect the plate, look for a pitch to drive, and see if she can keep this inning going.
It's 1 ball, 2 strikes to count.
I think she accidentally bowled that one in there. That one was on the ground, maybe halfway. It was already on the ground, so that pitch kind of slipped out of her hand. You could tell she wasn't happy with it. And now 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Fouls that one away. She stays alive here. Pitch misses outside.
Yeah, so 2-2 count with 2 outs. Deuce is wild. See if she can make something happen here.
Fouls that one away. Good battle here.
Yeah, staying alive. And again, you want to stay alive as long as you can and hope the pitcher makes a mistake that you can capitalize on. And so again, we'll run it back again. 2-2, 2 outs.
Fouls that one away.
Yeah, already been 7 pitches in this at bat. And both of them, we got a good battle going on here, and we're going to see who comes out on top.
Another foul ball.
Tell her she doesn't want to go down. She
No,
says,
she
not
don't.
today. Not today.
So Matheny battling hard here.
Again, 2-2, 2 outs. For the 5th time. And she fouls another one off.
Staying alive there.
Yeah, and again, that's what you want to do, right? You want to wait for the pitch that you're looking for, and you got to, with 2 strikes, you got to protect the plate, and she's done a good job of that so far.
Ball misses.
And she worked herself a full count here.
Yeah. Ball hit
Drives
into
one
center
in.
field.
And it's,
They make the catch. Good battle, though, by Matheny. So we'll come back here for the bottom of the fifth. The Lady Guards still trail the Lady Panthers 4-0. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, folks. Jeremy Peoples, Jeremy Diamond here with NETSN, bringing you some Lady Guard softball here. Lady Guard trailed the Lady Panthers 4-0. Now, they did win game one of the series. That score is 7-4. Now we're back in the circle. Go ahead.
and again, plenty of time left, right? It's not over, but you definitely want to get a quick 3 outs here and get back to the plate and try to do some damage. And so Carmen's job here is to make some quick outs on as few pitches as possible.
Ball misses high.
Again, she's facing the pitcher Stout.
Hits one up the middle. Center fielder scoops it up, throws it in. So it's a single to get things started off for the Lady Panthers.
Yeah, and that ball was really close to taking Miller out there. That came right back up the middle, and Miller had to make a quick adjustment there. And
Bat for Lady Panthers, number 17, Ellis Felon.
So Ellis Felon will step in. Runner on first, no outs.
yeah, she's a second baseman, and she grounded out in the first inning to the second baseman and then got a single. She gets
Bunt
a
here.
sacrifice here.
They get the runner at first, but it does advance the runner. A sack bunt, so 1 out.
Up the bat for Lady Panthers, number 9, Carrie Ann Stout.
Carrie Ann Stout will step in. She had a big hit last time, I believe. Right?
In the first inning, she was the one that had the fly ball that maybe should have been caught and ended up scoring on it. And then
She
she
hits that one
drives
deep
one.
into center field, over
That
the
is
fence. And so 2-run homer for Stout over the top part of the high part of the fence.
Yeah, that was a no doubter. That ball had plenty of juice coming out and a great swing on there, and that pitch was just left too much in the middle of the plate there. And
Up the bat for Lady Panthers, number 31, Grace Pascal.
So Grace Pascal will step into the box.
yeah, her third baseman, and again, she struck out twice. First time looking, second time swinging. So Miller's had her number so far.
Fouls that one away. Nobody on here. Those bases were just cleared. And ball. Ball hit into right field.
It's going foul and not quite
Foul.
able to get there.
Not able to get there.
And
Long,
again-
high, deep strike.
Yep, and again, Byers has moved back into right field.
Okay, yeah.
That would have been a tough one to come up with. That had
Sure
it
will.
kept tailing away, but she made a good effort. Almost got there. Again, ball and 2 strikes. See if Miller can get her for a third time.
Well, high and outside. She didn't chase after that one. So 2-2. Ball low in the dirt, so that'll bring it to a full count.
Carmen seems a little frustrated with herself, and it's tough, right? You got to kind of shake it off, but it's easy. Oh, that ball was hit high and deep. It's off the left fielder's glove.
She'll go in the second.
Yeah, and that one again probably should have been caught. Well, there's that old saying, got to get 2 hands on it, right? You got to get that first. And she had it in the glove, and it bounced out. And
Ball dances when it gets that high, of course, though,
It does.
too.
yeah, those aren't easy plays to make. You got to get under it and get both hands up there and secure the catch.
Shot to Hartley. She throws the first. Can't make the scoop. And so all runners safe.
Up to bat for Lady Panthers, number 4, Brook Maggot.
Yeah,
So
and
Brook
then-
Maggots will step up.
yeah, and she's grounded out to second, and then an out there to the catcher. Had that little kind of flare that she was thrown out in the last inning where it just barely kind of came into play there, and so she's 0 for 2 on the day.
Fouls that one away. Here comes the pitch. Fouls it away.
Yeah, and the runner was on the move on that swing and has to go back and reset. The runner from first was headed to second. And swing and a miss, and she got her.
She'll be retired.
Up to bat for Lady Panthers, number 28, Alex Akins.
Your shortstop is up to bat here for the Lady Panthers. Again, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Runners on second and third. She hits a flare out to right center, and the ball is dropped. And 2 runs score. That would have been a tough catch there. Again, 2 RBI on that hit.
Up to bat for Lady Panthers, number 21, Olivia Villanueva.
So 2 outs here. The 2 runs have scored, right? So
Now 4 runs have scored.
4 runs. So I had to fix some camera contrast there. That's what I was working on.
Yeah, so it's 8-0. Runner goes to third, and he gets in safely on the stolen base. Again, this is Villanueva up to bat, who's playing first base.
All right, here comes Miller back on the rubber. It's that one over to second. Booth will grab it, fire it. Now the Lord tire the side. They score a couple more, or a few more, 4 more. So they lead 8-0. We'll come back here for the top of inning number 6 here on NETSN. Welcome back.
Yeah, and again, our score is 8-0. Hyde Park was able to put 4 more runs on the board. Again, one of those 2 runs came off the big home run by Carriana Stout, the left fielder. And then a couple more runs were scored because of an error that kept the inning going. So now it's 8-0 Hyde Park. And again, if you're Brook Hill, you just want to get something going here, right?
Yeah.
You want to get some momentum here, and
You can score quick, and
yeah, it's it's a game that the game can flip quickly, as we've seen before. And again, I think the secret here is Hyde Park's been able to put the ball in play more often, right? And it seems like some of the Brook Hill hitters have been pressing a little bit this game instead of being patient at the plate and waiting on their pitch. And so I think that's hurt a little bit. And so you've got Juliana Mize, the DP, coming in to lead off the top of the 6th.
Number 3, Juliana Mize.
some Mize in the box. First pitch to her, swing and a miss. Stout back on the mound. She'll deliver the pitch. Swing and a miss. Good cut there.
Yeah, just a little late on it, but a good swing.
Fouls that one away. Good battle here. Called strike 3 on the outside corner, and so she'll be retired.
Yeah, that one caught just the outside corner of the plate there and didn't give much for Mize to do. She needed to protect there, but that's a tough one when it's that far out. And now you're back to the leadoff here with Brister.
Fouls that one away. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. Sure and subscribe to our channel if you haven't. Get notifications of when we're broadcasting. That one's hit in the right field. Could be a good lick. In and out of the glove. She'll round first. Go into second. She's going to come into third. Throw's coming in. That's a triple for Brister.
Nice piece of hitting there. Again, good patience and drove the ball. And again, like we talked about a little bit ago, make the other team make the play. And they weren't able to, and she was able to get to third.
Number 11, Nina Harley.
Guess you technically score that
Yeah.
a double and an extra base on the error.
Yeah.
That's a shot into center field. It falls, so Bristol will come in. So Harley with an RBI single.
And again, like we talked about, that's what you want, right? You got to get the first one to get the second one.
Yeah.
And so you got one run here, and then now Carmen can come in and keep this going.
Got to start somewhere, right?
That's right. And again, baseball, softball, they're funny games like that, right? You can be completely in control, and it changes on the drop of a hat.
So fouls out in the way, so no balls, 1 strike. She hits that one. A blooper. She makes the catch.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no. I think there's some confusion there, and
I think she was convinced there was 2 outs.
so she's doubled up, and so that will end the inning. They do score 1, so we'll be back here for the bottom of the 6th here on NETSN. All right, welcome back, folks and friends. Jaron Peoples, Jeremy Diamond here with NETSN, Northeast Texas Sports Network, bringing you this Brook Hill Lady Guard softball game. They trail Hyde Park by a score of 8-1. This district matchup, game 2 of this series. Brook Hill won game 1 of this doubleheader by a score of 7-4. So currently right now undefeated in district play, but trailing Hyde Park here by a score of 8-1. And here in the bottom of inning number 6.
Yeah, and an interesting weekend. We had some rainouts and different things, and kind of been an interest. But over at Tyler Legacy, they're playing Longview today. They were supposed to be playing on Friday.
Yeah.
It got bumped to Saturday.
Yeah,
they didn't get to play Saturday, and so playing tonight. And about 30 minutes ago, it was 11-5 Legacy after 6.
Oh, wow.
I haven't seen an update since then. But Legacy with the lead in that one. And, again, that's been the third time as the charm, I guess you'd say there.
Speaking of miss, they didn't even go out to field it on Saturday, though, did they?
No, I don't think they did. I think Friday, our friend Brandon Ogden was out there till about forever night and finally got released, and they ended up not playing. And then
Old Dirt Sheet Brandon.
Yeah, so good they were able to get that out of the way and get it played tonight, and it's going to be a quick turnaround for both teams.
Off-speed pitch called ball, so 1-2 the count. Ball misses high.
Again, this is your 9th place hitter, so you don't want to put her on base here, right? You want to get to the top of the order with no one on base and an out.
Ball misses. Bring us to a full count. Pitch from Miller.
She wanted that one.
Wasn't by much. Did not miss by much. So runner on first, no outs.
And then the pitcher, Stout, is up to bat. She scored all 3 times. She's come up to the plate. She's got a single, she's got a triple, and then she reached on an error in the first.
Hits that one over. She gets both. Nope, they didn't get.
Because since they got first, they had to get a tag.
They eliminated the force. Yeah, so they throw. I thought he made the.
He made the out call, but I think he was trying to call the first out.
That's
I'm not sure.
Yeah, because I saw the out call. That's what.
Yeah, it was a little confusing there, but.
Yeah, so the runner at second safe because they threw it and got the runner at first. First, of course, that eliminates the force and.
Yeah, too close of a play to get a tag in there, and so. Again, 1 out there, but Stout was able to advance the runner.
Yeah, I thought that was the case, but again, he made that motion. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't very. He didn't point at a bag, so he didn't make that very clear.
Ball misses. Ball misses.
Two balls and a strike. Here again to Ellis Felon, who is the second baseman.
Shot in the right field. Byers comes up, makes the catch.
Tag at second, and she's going to get into third easily.
So, and we've said this a few times, but Byers, she's new to softball. And so, man, what a great feeling. Catch her, I suppose, maybe her first pop fly. Or so in the game. So, great job. Congrats to her. It's a good play.
Yeah, and got the ball in quickly, but again,
Yeah.
a good tag there from second. A heads-up play. And then you got to be careful here. Again, this is a Stout. And she, last time up, put one over the center field wall, gave a no-doubter, 2-run shot. And
She Jimmy jacked it.
yeah, she did. She put the big hurt on it.
Called strike. I did Tatum Troop baseball last week, and that win, it's a short field in Troop nonetheless. And, man, it was like home run city over there. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Called strike.
and tonight's was there's not much wind, if any, out there. So it was
Oh,
all,
man.
I mean, you heard it when it hit the bat. It sounded like it was going to go a long way, and it did.
Game 1 today, though, there's all sorts of wind.
Again, 8-1 lead here for Hyde Park.
Ball misses outside.
Got 2 outs here, the bottom of the 6th.
Inside pitch, called strike. That was nice, and so she's retired, so they'll strand one on, and we'll go to the top of the 7th here on NETSN. Welcome back, folks. Jeremy Peoples, Jeremy Diamond here, coming into the top of the 7th, where the Brook Hill Guard need to score at least 7 to keep this game alive here.
Yeah, and we've got a couple of position changes, it looks like, for Hyde Park. The third baseman, Parscale, has come in to catch, which shifts number 16, Yeager, who had been the catcher. She's going to slide over to third base. So there's your defensive adjustment here for the top of the 7th. Again, Stout still in the mound. She's pitched a great game, too.
Coming in the bat,
Okay.
Kenzie Licata for the Brook Hill Lady Guard. Hey, let us know if you've enjoyed the broadcast. And just comment and say, good job, or needs work, or you guys are awesome, or
Much better.
whatever it may be. Tune in. Just let us know how it's going. We're glad you've tuned in. Mrs. High, ball.
Because it's modern technology and we're old folks.
The 1-0 pitch. Misses, so 2-0 now the count. To Licata.
Gotcha. That's okay. I'm tired.
Oh, so ball 4. I was a little behind.
Oh, yeah, draws the walk, and again, that's what you want to see here.
Yeah, need base runners. Right.
I can come look at it tomorrow.
Coach Springer's going to look at his lineup card here.
So who should be in this? Should be, you got the lineup here.
Yeah, it should be Matthews up to bat here, and it looks like she might still be. I don't know if they're going to switch for a runner here,
Okay.
or if they are going to get Matthews out and go with a pinch hitter.
When you get home, send me your address and I'll come by. Okay?
Oh, yeah, I think we're just putting a runner here.
I'm in the middle of a ball game. I'm a score. I'm trying to score.
So that's I believe that's Bridget Spearley,
Hitting the game first base, number 20, Bridget Spearley.
and Spearley is going to be running here again for Licata.
That one's fouled away by Matthews. There's the pop. So shot over to third base. They're going to throw the first. They get her, but runner does advance to second, so out one. It does advance the runner. So I'll bring up Booth.
Up to bat for Lady Guard, number 1, Miley Booth.
Yeah, Miley's struck out in the second, and then in the fifth, grounded out to the second baseman. So she'd like to do some damage here. Again, runners on second. One out here in the top of the seventh.
Fouls that one away. Fouls that one out of play.
Another souvenir.
Well, I foul balls these two games.
Yeah, so she's got an 0-2 count here. Runner at second with one out.
Swing and a miss. So that's out number 2.
And you got Winkle coming up to the plate, and again, she's got to get on base here and keep this alive, or this game would be over. Again, with Hyde Park being the home team and an 8-1 lead.
It's a shot.
Oh,
just
just
foul. Man, not a bad idea.
Yeah, that would have been extra bases for sure.
Yeah.
Missed that by about a foot.
Foul ball.
Counts 0-2 here. She's got to stay alive. She's got to protect the plate, find something to drive, and keep this game going.
Make contact. Pitch high outside, ball one.
I've noticed she's gone to that a lot today, that
Yeah.
slow off-speed pitch, trying to get that third strike. It just doesn't come back down. Not sure if it's supposed to be a drop ball or what it's supposed to do, but it's just kind of hanging out high, and it's not something they've offered at.
Yeah, which it can look kind of fat, especially on the third, with 2 strikes on you.
All right, Deuce is wild. 2-2, 2 outs.
Ball hit up. Second baseman scoots up, gets it. So that will do it. So the Hyde Park Lady Panthers win game 2 of this doubleheader by a score of 8-1, but with Brook Hill winning game 1 of the doubleheader by a score of 7-4. So that moves Brook Hill to 3-1 in district play. Hyde Park 1-1 in district play.
Both teams on splitting the doubleheader
So thanks so much for tuning in for Jaron Peoples, Jeremy Diamond here at Schwab Field on the campus of the Brook Hill School. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good night, folks.
Thank you.